Chapter 9. Shadows Beneath the Spotlight. Location: White House, private residence, West Sitting Room. Emily Morgan sat in her mother's old velvet armchair, wrapped in a White House-issued blanket, watching the soft flickers of the fireplace as they danced across the walls. The room was silent, except for the occasional groan of old floorboards settling under the weight of history. It had been 5 days since she last saw Nathan. 5 long days of briefings, debriefings, security reviews, and hushed discussions behind closed doors. The press had caught a blurry image of her near a homeless shelter on the east side, and the headlines had done the rest. First daughter's midnight escape. Love in the shadows. Emily Morgan's rebellion. Emily had never hated her name more, not because it was hers, but because it had become a weapon, a brand, a leash. Nathan hadn't called. He didn't even have a phone. Her fingers dug into the thick fabric of the blanket. Somewhere in the maze of her father's staff, they were probably trying to track down Nathan, either to cover it up or to make sure he stayed away. She had pleaded with her father to leave it alone, but the President of the United States didn't exactly take orders from his daughter. There was a knock on the door. Emily didn't answer. She didn't have to. The knock was followed by a soft creak, and in walked her mother. Vivian Morgan, former fashion editor turned first lady, had always been composed, graceful, almost regal. But tonight her lipstick was faded, and she held 2 mugs of tea, one shaking just slightly in her hands. "I figured you wouldn't sleep," Vivian said, placing the mugs on the side table and sitting beside her daughter. "Chamomile, no scandal in that." Emily offered a weak smile. "Unless chamomile suddenly becomes anti-American." Vivian chuckled. "Stranger things have happened." They sat in silence for a long moment, the fire filling the space between them. "Does Dad know you're here?" Emily finally asked. Vivian's brow twitched, then smoothed again. "He's busy with optics, advisors, damage control, being a president." "Must be exhausting," Emily muttered. Vivian turned her head, her expression softening. "He's not angry with you, Em, just scared. The world isn't kind to girls like you." "Girls like me?" Emily bristled. "Girls who believe the world owes them honesty, love, truth. Girls who want to write their own headlines." Emily looked into her mother's eyes. "I'm in love with him." Vivian didn't flinch. "I know." "That's it?" Emily asked, stunned. "You're not going to tell me it's reckless or dangerous, or that he's using me?" Vivian stared into the flames. "When I was your age, I fell in love with a boy who made his own clothes and wrote poetry on receipts. My parents threatened to cut me off if I didn't end it." "What happened?" "I married someone else. Someone right, someone safe." She smiled sadly. "And now I live in the most beautiful cage in the world." Emily's breath caught in her throat. "I'm not telling you what to do, Em," Vivian continued. "But I see how you look when you talk about him. And I've never seen that light in your eyes. Not even when you were little." Emily closed her eyes. She thought of Nathan's rough hands brushing hers, his stories told under flickering lamplight, the way he made her laugh, really laugh, in a way no one in the White House ever could. "Do you think he'll run?" she whispered. Vivian shrugged. "Men like him have spent their whole lives running, from pain, from people, from promises. If he stays, it'll be for you." The fire popped loudly, sending a small shower of sparks up the chimney. Emily stood. Vivian looked up. "Where are you going?" "To find him," Emily said. "If I wait, they'll bury this story and him, with a press release and a bodyguard." Vivian hesitated only a second before nodding. "Wear something warm." Location: Franklin Park. Midnight. The air was colder than Emily expected. Her heels clicked against the pavement as she walked briskly beneath the canopy of moonlit trees. The park was mostly empty, save for a few shadowy figures and a lone bench near the center. Their bench. She almost didn't see him at first. Nathan sat there, hunched over, his hood up, a beat-up copy of To Kill a Mockingbird in his hands. Her heart stopped, then galloped. She stepped forward. He looked up. For a second, neither moved. Then, "I didn't know if you'd come," he said softly. "I didn't know if you'd wait," she replied. Nathan stood slowly, brushing dust from his jeans. "They're looking for me." "I know. They said I was a threat." "You're not." "I am," he whispered. "To their version of you." Emily reached out and took his hand. It trembled for a moment, then closed tightly around hers. "I'm done being their version," she said. "I'm ready to be mine." Nathan stared at her, eyes full of disbelief, fear, and something else. Hope. "I have nothing," he said. "No plan. No future, no." "You have me," she cut in. The wind rustled the trees around them, almost like applause from the shadows. For the first time, Nathan smiled, not the guarded half-smile he wore like armor, but a full, open, utterly human one. Emily stepped closer, her voice steady. "Run with me." "To where?" She didn't hesitate. "Anywhere that isn't a cage." And beneath the silver moonlight, with the eyes of the world unknowingly turned away, the president's daughter and the boy with nothing walked hand in hand into a story no one had dared to write before. End of Chapter 9.
If this video sparked your interest, taught you something new, or simply made your day better, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you never want to miss out on content like this, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Your support helps us grow and keeps the content coming.